Good morning, everybody. This is Gayle, and welcome to Friday Frolics. It's been a great week, other than the weather. I'll talk about that in a minute, but it's been a good week. I have finished the quilt blocks. I've done the video showing the cane we're going to put around each block, and I've also finished the project. And you're going to laugh at me when you see it. It's going to be published on Monday, but it's so funny because at the beginning I'm talking about the first. I divided it into two parts only because it was so long. I figured it would be easier to divide it into two parts that rather than to have one 2.5 hour video. These are things I usually reserve from my patrons on my that donate to my Patreon account. But in this case, I'm doing this with you. But it's really kind of cool. It turned out as well as I expected it to. I could have done a better job at the end, and you'll see. But anyway, the part one, I'm talking at the end. I believe I tell you that I'm going to do one project, but then part two comes and it's an entirely different project because midway through all that I got to thinking and decided to not do that one. So you'll see and you'll laugh, but just remember I was just so torn and I decided, to do the second one. So I hope you like it. Take your time. At the very end, you'll see where I'm filling in some spaces with some clay that I've twisted, and it's really too big for the space that I used, but I didn't want to, I've been working on this for weeks and weeks, and I really just didn't want to take the time to pull it back off and to make the twist smaller. So it ended up covering up part of my canes, but that's okay. It still looks good. I'm happy with it, and it's hanging on the wall. Whoops, I just let it slide. Did you catch that? I've got it hanging on the wall in my craft room. So I hope you, excuse me, I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. It was a long series. I've got another series coming that, again, it's something that it was a request. And the only problem is it's the type of thing I normally just do for my patrons. Just like this one is something I would normally do with my patrons. But I'm going to look at it, and if I can get it done quick enough, and I mean quick enough in like not a 6 weeks project, if I can do it in 1 or 2 weeks instead, I may go ahead and do it here and come up with something else for my patrons. But I really feel like they deserve something extra because they are helping me financially. And without them, I couldn't keep making my videos. So anyway, so that's going to be posted on Monday. I have, of course, today is Friday Frolics. I have an idea. I started doing some buttons, and I thought about maybe doing, every about once a month or so, do a different kind of button. The last one was the fish buttons, which can be done with any kind of cane that you might have. It could have been a flower cane. It could be an abstract cane. It could be a kaleidoscope cane. But what I did is I added black and white around the edges and then just sliced it into buttons, poked holes and baked them, and they were buttons. So I'm going to do the same thing with different ways of making buttons other than with a cane like that. But I thought, I'm thinking I'm going to do a couple of those. Maybe, like I said, what I need to do is start a calendar and plan out. I've never had to do that before because I was always going from 1 week to the next week to the next week to the next week. But doing this series really helped me get caught up and not be so overwhelmed. So I kind of like doing the series. So I don't know, but I need to do a calendar. So I come up with all these ideas, and when I sit down to do one, I can't remember what any of them are. Whereas if I had a calendar, if I wrote, okay, this week I'm going to do this cane, and this week I'm going to do this project, and this week I'm going to do this, it would make it a lot easier. So now I've got to find some kind of calendar that I can use for that. I don't know if any of you would be interested. I can't go on a Friday Frolics without mentioning RG Studio 360. But if any of you are interested in looking at what Richard has planned for the holidays being Halloween, fall, and Christmas, he's going to have a special YouTube video done on Saturday. And if you can't catch it, you can come back and watch it later. The only thing is he's going to be offering bundles. So if you get like this group of digitals, he's giving bundles, and they're 30% off the retail price. So if you're interested in any of his downloads, now would be the time to get them, because he's got a lot of changes coming. His prices have to go up because of, not circumstances, but his costs are going up because now he's offering his downloads in 5 different formats. You have your regular PDF, which is just a picture of all of his downloads. You have the PDF with an outline for people that have a cutting machine. You get a PDF mini with an outline in case you want to use them on smaller projects or use them in a planner, or group things together. Like this week's exclusive digital is different coffee mug type, not mugs, but the coffee cups. And some of them have straws, and some of them have little little hearts and things sticking out of them. And one of them has a little dome top. They all have cozies, which you can do separate. And but anyway, so you would get the regular PDF, the PDF with an outline, the PDF mini. Then he's going to offer it in a JPEG, again, for people that know how to edit photos or edit JPEGs. In the software that comes with your cutting machines, like your Cricut and the Silhouette and the Scan and Cut, all of them have a place where you can go in and either design or take an image and adjust it. And you can do that with a JPEG. You can't do it with a PDF. So he's going to offer the JPEG for people that want to make changes to his digitals. Then he's also going to offer them in a SVG format, which again is for your cutting machines. So and you get all 5. And because of the extra, what did he call it? The extra something that he on his website, because now it's going to be 5 different videos. Plus, now his brother has joined him, and his brother is a designer, and his brother also is adding like the outlines to his PDFs. He's doing the little mechanical things like that. So he's got somebody else to pay a salary to. And it's just his costs have just gone up, but that's okay because it's still the best bargain around. If you bought, all right, he's got an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and usually there's like at least 8 to 10 images on there. Now, do you know what it would cost you to get a rubber stamp with 8 to 10 images like that, full-size images? It would probably cost you $20, $25. And his price, I believe, is going to be $15.99. And, excuse me, you get all 5 versions, the PDFs, the JPEG, and the SVG. And it's on your computer, and you store it forever. And whenever you want to use it, just print off one on your cardstock. I've been printing on the Nina 80-pound cardstock, and it works fine in my printer. So if any of you are concerned about that, I like the 80-pound. I think it's a good weight for cards. It's not real stiff. It doesn't crack when you score it and fold it, but yet it's strong. But anyway, back to what I was saying. If you're at all interested in what he has coming for the holidays, he's going to be offering those the bundles. And what he'll probably do is he'll probably have a Halloween bundle, he'll probably have a fall bundle, and he'll probably have a Christmas bundle. And he's going to offer those at 30% off. But you have to register. It's a free. It's not a class. He's going to be making things, like demoing his new images. He'll probably be making cards and tags and different things. I don't know for sure, but I know he's going to be making things, demoing his digitals. But it is not a class. You're not going to be sitting there making something with him. You're just going to be watching him and seeing his new digitals. And so he's offering it for free. And I'll put the link below, so in case you're interested in it, you can sign up for it, because only the people that are signed up will get the 30% discount, and you're not going to be able to just buy it anywhere. Actually, I don't even think you can buy it anywhere except when he sends you the link after you've registered to where you can buy the images. You can buy them later when they're what's the word I'm looking for? When he posts them, he'll start posting them in another few weeks or so, one at a time, and you can buy them one at a time if that's what you want to do. That's fine. But anyway, just thought I would get that out of the way. My RJ Crafts. I want to thank you guys. A lot of you have gone to the RJ Crafts website and ordered on my affiliate link, and I've gotten a little bit. I think, it helps me financially, but it also helps me economically. And I'm saying that because as a design team member, I get to order $50 worth of product every month. Well, I just gave the girl my order yesterday for what I want for this month. And we're still working out timing issues as far as getting our designer kits. But I've got some really cool things coming, so I hope you're going to enjoy them when they get here. That's going to be fun, and that's going to give me lots of more things that I can do. Excuse me. More things that I can do for you, more videos. Excuse me for a minute. You'll notice I'm drinking a protein drink. I did not sleep more than maybe an hour and a half last night. I don't know what was wrong. I was hyper. I could not settle down. I have what they call sleep aids, which is the same as Unisom, I believe. And you know how you go to sleep and you're restless, but you feel like hours and hours have gone by. Well, I turned my light out at 11. That's another thing I'm going to tell you. I turned my light out at 11 and thought I went to sleep, but it seemed like hours and hours because I kept waking up, turning, waking up, turning. Looked at my clock and it was 12:45. An hour and 45 minutes, and it seemed like it had been hours. So I got up and took one of the sleep aids at 12:45. Expecting to go back and just relax for a few minutes, let it kick in, and then I would go to sleep. Well, 2 hours later, I'm still laying there waiting for it to go into effect, so I took a second one, which usually, if I don't usually take two, but if I do, it just zonks me out for the night. And it's an antihistamine. It's not a sleeping pill. It's an antihistamine, like Benadryl makes you drowsy. And this is an antihistamine like Benadryl that helps you go to sleep. But that didn't help. And I tossed and I turned until I got achy. My legs started aching. My back was aching. My hips were aching. And the last time I looked at the clock, it was 4:30. And I got up at 6:15. So in that hour and a half, I dozed. I was still restless, but I dozed a little bit. I probably got a good 45 minutes solid without interruption. But that's all the sleep I've had. And I'm beginning to feel it because I can't get the words out this morning. My brain is just like a fog. So I did what I thought was my normal routine, and then let my dog out. When he came in, I went up, took a shower, got dressed and everything, and I came downstairs and I thought, I think I want a cup of hot chocolate, and opened the cabinet, which is where I also keep my daily medications. And I saw that I hadn't taken my medications this morning, and I thought, why haven't I taken those? And I realized I never ate breakfast. And of course, it's too late for me to eat breakfast now and stick to a schedule where I don't want to eat too late a lunch, because then my daughter comes home tonight and we'll eat dinner. So I thought, what in the world am I going to do? So instead of hot chocolate, I got out my Premier protein shake. They are the best things. And there's only 1 gram of sugar. And it's low fat, 160 calories, but 30 grams of protein. So you can't beat it. It's my new favorite. But I know it's just because I didn't have the sleep. But I was going to tell you, my daughter subscribes to Netflix. And she's like in her own zone. We sit here at night and I have the TV on. She's sitting there with her phone in front of her with her earbuds in, listening to something on her phone while she's playing games on her computer. And I knew it was Netflix, and she started out watching like the vampire things and The Walking Dead and stuff like that. Well, then she started watching other things. And we were sitting here one night a couple of weeks ago, and well, actually, it's been more than a couple of weeks. It's probably been closer to a month ago. And we were complaining because there was just, even with cable, there was nothing on TV worth watching. And so, sorry, I'm rocking. So she suggested, because we have the Blu-ray on the TV through the Netflix on the TV through the Blu-ray player. So she said, well, why don't you watch Netflix instead of watching something or just having something on that you really don't enjoy or don't want to listen to. So I started watching Anne with an E on Netflix. And I did it usually an hour in the afternoon. Well, I got so entranced with that, and I really like that. It's about Anne. It's based on Anne of Green Gables, and it's really cute, and it's good. I enjoy it. So then I watched The Throne, and is it The Throne? The Crown. The Crown? The Crown, I think it is. The one about Queen Elizabeth and Philip, and they had 2 years worth of episodes on there, so I watched those. So I started looking for other things similar, because I seem to, for some reason, those just are appealing to me now. And I started watching Reign, Reign, which is about Mary, Queen of Scots. And I am so addicted to that show. They've got like 100 episodes on Netflix. But I watch 3 and 4 every day. So now when I go to bed at night, instead of playing a game or looking at YouTube or whatever, I watch an episode of that before I go to bed. But I really enjoy it. But that's my new favorite thing to do. And my daughter is paying for it. She watches Netflix all day at work. The work she does, she can do while she's listening to something. And the boss doesn't care. And when they have slow times, when she doesn't have anything to do, she used to take a book, but now she just watches Netflix. But there's also a lot of jibber jabber in her office that she just doesn't want to listen to. So she just tunes them out by putting her earbuds on and watching some kind of TV show or whatever while she's working. It's crazy. I could never have done that when I worked. But the boss doesn't care as long as the work is getting done and there's no mistakes. So anyway, she's paying for it so she can use it, but I'm getting the benefits of it. I like that plan. So let's see, what else has gone on this week? Not a whole lot. I got my dog to the vet, got his medicine finally. It's just so crazy. The people that abuse prescription medications are really hurting not only people but even animals because the gabapentin, which is an opiate, um, is something that I give my dog, and it's also a pill that people take to get high. And it started out I was getting them from Alavet because it was much cheaper than getting them at my vet. Then I got a notice when I tried to refill it one time from Alavet saying the governor of Virginia had signed some kind of law that prohibits the shipping of opiates into Virginia. So they could no longer send it to me. So I had to go back to my vet to get it, which makes it much, more expensive, but at least I can get it. And now the federal government has classified this a controlled substance. So I have to take him in every so often to have him checked to see if he still needs the pain medication. Well, the pain he's in, he will be in the rest of his life. He's got severe arthritis, he's got problems in his hips, and he's 12 years old. It's going to be something he's going to take the rest of his life. And even the vets are fussing because it's really causing, because now I've got to pay a fee to go to the vet to have him checked on top of the higher cost of the medication. But that's all done, and they understand where I'm coming from. So hopefully it'll all work out. So, it's like having children. You've got to take care of them. They're your babies. You need to take care of them. They depend on me, or he depends on me. I'm only down to one dog now. So, it's a responsibility when you have a pet to take care of them. It's like old people, like me. The older I get, the more medications I have to take, which means the more money I'm having to put out. And same thing with him. He has to wear a diaper at night because he leaks during the night. He's fine all day long, but at night he just can't hold it in. And it's not like he just pees. It's, if you see, before I put diapers on him, you can just see a trail. And it's where he just gets up and walks, and it's just a trail that he can't control. So now I have to get diapers for him on top of his medications. But he's a sweet little guy, or big guy. And he's just, he's special. I've taken care of him for 8 years now. And I'm not going to let him down now. I'm going to stick with him. So I know if you have pets, you understand exactly how I feel. But I do believe that is all. Don't forget, I am also an affiliate with Polyclay Play, and I have that link down below also. So if people have asked me, where I get some of the molds that I use, and the really cool molds like my sea turtle and some of my seashell molds and things like that are from Penny Jo Couch, who designed them, and she used to sell them herself, but she sold her business to Trish, who owns Polyclay Play. So all of those molds are available at polyclayplay.com. She also has Inca Golds in the sample sizes. You can get like 6 colors for what you pay for one of the big jars. So this is, a sample size is more than what you will ever use in your lifetime. It's just a lot of, you don't use a lot of Inca Gold, but I think I've got 2 sets and then about 3 or 4 extras that were not in the sets that I wanted to add to it. But she also has clay. So, if you get a chance, click the link below to get there and shop around and see if there's something there that you like. And then RJ Crafts is just awesome. If you want some really cool cutters, go to rjcrafts.com or my affiliate link, which is down below. and look at the amazing cutters that she has. And then also check out the designer series, which is on the um, on the page. When you go on the page, there's a couple of like links at the top that you can click, and the very first one is designer series, and that's where Allison Merritt's links are, and those are the ones like the dragonfly that I made the other day. That's an Allison Merritt design. So, they're awesome. So I thank you again for being so loyal and being so kind. I've made so many good friends with some of you. You send me emails and we start conversing back and forth, and you don't know how much it means to me, because I feel like it makes us, if not family, at least BFFs. So I feel like I've got, somebody asked me one time, who my friends are. And other than people at church, I really don't, and my sister, of course, I really don't have any girlfriends that I goof around with or do anything. So that's what I depend on y'all for. Excuse me. I hang around with you guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Probably talked a little too long. Goodness, looks like it's almost 27 minutes. So I'm going to say goodbye and have a great weekend. The rain here has been awful. It rains every day. I feel like I'm in the tropics, except most of the time the sun doesn't come out. And so it's just rainy and muggy, and because it's warm and muggy, and it's just terrible. But anyway, stay dry, stay safe, and have an amazing weekend, and join me Monday for the final two projects. I've got two videos on finishing up the quilt block project, and then next Friday there'll be another Friday Frolics. So have a great day. I think I'm going to take a nap. Bye bye.